What's up, everybody? It's new week. It's new class build, auto build thing, Judgment Day. Yeah. We are going to be going over the base sorcerer. So not the pre-gen, because we did the pre-generated sorcerer last week. We're going to do the basic sorcerer. We're going to be doing the fighter, pre-generated character, and then the fighter, the basic fighter. So those are the three that we're going to try to get through today. I'm going to try to get through three classes every time we do one of these, hopefully. And yeah, we're just going to go from there. So let's get started. So Asabar, so it seems like this is pretty consistent. This is now the fourth, I want to say, the fourth class that I've checked, and every single one of them has been an Asmar. Muse touched, Dex, and Charisma. For Sorcerer, I would say that those are probably the two most important stats. Especially, I don't know what kind of build this class is going to be going for, but if it's going to be like a Ray caster, then Dex is incredibly important. And even if it's not, Dex is pretty important, because I believe that sorcerers only have a good will save. Yeah, they only have a good will save, so reflex and fort saves are pretty low, so having a decent Dex is pretty good, pretty important, I think. +2 to persuasion and mobility checks. If you're going to be a charisma person, then getting a boost to persuasion is very is very nice. And mobility, I feel like there's probably better people to use for your mobility than this, although I'm looking ahead a little bit. We have a lot of fucking decks. Holy shit. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll see what we look like. Noble Emissary adds persuasion and knowledge world to the list of her class skills. Proficient with rapiers and bucklers. I'm not a huge fan of doubling up on class skills for these, because it is only a competence bonus, which is just going to be overridden by literally any single piece of gear that you find that gives any bonus to these skills. So I'm not a huge fan of this. I would prefer criminal. What is it? Pickpocket, the one that gives you a bonus to initiative. That's just super strong. This right here, I wouldn't take Dex all the way up to 18. Especially at the cost of int, because sorcerers don't have that many skill points to begin with. So taking your intelligence down to 7 is really fucking rough. I think they might only have... Yeah, that leaves us with 1 skill rank per level, and they put it in UMD, which I guess is fine, but it doesn't take advantage of either the Muse Touch or the Emissary, so this is really weird. So what I would have done here is we take Dex down to 16, we take Intelligence up to 10. It gives us another skill rank per level, and then we would have Persuasion and UMD. Con at 14 is fine. Wisdom at 11 is whatever, like, it doesn't really matter. Honestly, I would probably drop Charisma down to 19, because getting Charisma all the way up to 20 is also, like, a really hefty investment. What's up, Zins? How you doing? That's a really hefty investment. Especially for one of these builds, which I know for a fact they're just going to put all 5 points into Charisma. So we're going to end up with an odd Charisma, Okay, I was about to say, well, that's no good. All right, you flip the frown upside down. That's fine, then. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this stat spread. Um, especially this low int. I really do not like this low int. UMD, if you're gonna pick one for a sorcerer, I guess UMD is probably one of the best ones, despite the fact that it's not taking advantage of the Muse Touched or the Emissary. So why did we pick Emissary, then? Why did we pick Emissary? What is the point of this? Is it just flavor? Is that all this is? There's absolutely... What is this? I'm so confused. I'm so confused why they chose this now. Because these three things seem to just, like, shit all over one another. But... Still, like, being a bit different. That's fine. Okay, so we got Spell Focus Evocation, so it looks like we're going for a Blaster Caster. I mean, Draconic Bloodline, yeah, that makes sense. It's probably one of the best ones for a Blaster Caster. Just gets you that there, +1 point of damage per dice rolled every time you cast a fire spell. Very nice. We get Combat Casting, which I'm not a huge fan of, especially not this early. You get greater spell focus, you can get elemental focus, spell specialization, spell penetration. Like, spell pen, I feel like it's a bit early for that as well. But like spell specialization right now, this literally at level 1, this doubles the damage of Magic Missile if you take Magic Missile, which we do. The auto build takes Magic Missile and Burning Hands. If we have spell specialization with one of these two spells, it triples the damage of Burning Hands, doubles the damage of Magic Missile. If we have spell specialization right now. That's a huge difference. That is a huge difference. And if you're going for higher difficulties, I feel like you want to bump up the spell DC more. So you'd be getting greater spell focus or elemental. Probably greater spell focus. So I'm not a huge fan of that. But combat casting is it's not terrible, but I definitely would not pick it at fucking level 1. That's whatever. Your name is 1. So we're already not looking too great. We're already not looking that great. This right here hurts my soul. The one skill point, like, skills are really important in these games. Like, they're really fucking important in these games. And even if, so, okay, let's go back to this. Even if we're not going to go persuasion, because there are a fair number of people in the party that are charisma based and have really, really good persuasion checks. So it's not as important to have a really high persuasion skill. Perception is always important. On every character that you can get perception on, perception is always important. Because unlike persuasion, where you only get the one roll, everyone that has ranks in perception gets a roll to see if they find a thing. So the more people you have with decent perception, the better. So I'm not a huge fan of this level 1 combat casting. I don't like the stats. I don't like this. I don't like the background. I'm not a fan of. Like, there's a lot to go off of here. That's already like, I don't know about this one. I don't know about this one. But let's see how they do. Let's see how they do. Yep. All right, level 2. We literally get nothing except for another skill point in the UMD. That's basic. That's just how sorcerers do. Okay, so we do get greater spell focus really early, so I do like that. Vanish is also really, really good. Especially for a squishy caster. We got Mage Armor, Burning Hands, Magic Missile, and Vanish. That's really, really nice. I used to undervalue Vanish a lot, and then I found out just how powerful it could be with the most recent routes of the speedruns. It's so good. It's really fucking good, guys. So yeah, I'm perfectly fine with this level. This level right here gets a thumbs up from me. Yep, boosting up that charisma. Burning Arc, since we don't have point blank shot or precise shot, I would say that Burning Arc is probably better than getting where's that? Scorching Ray. I do think that Burning Arc is probably the better of the two here. So I'm perfectly fine with this. And it's an AoE, which you're not going to have a whole lot of AoE options in early game. So this is very, very nice. Even though it's a limited AoE, it's only hits one extra person per 3 levels, but since you are required to be at least level 3 to get it, that means that you're hitting at least 2 people as long as there are at least 2. And then we go straight into elemental focus. All right, I'm just never gonna mention the skills again because it's just UMD every level. So elemental focus fire. Again, I agree. it's really good. We're just boosting up our spell DC a lot. We're already at a +3 for our fire spells. Which is 2/3 of our offensive spell capability right now. We get shield, which is another yeah. That's a good one to get. And mirror image, which is again yeah, that's a good one to get. And then we get resist energy for free for being a dragon. So level 5. So there can be an argument made that we are focusing a little bit too hard on getting that spell DC up. I think it might be a little bit excessive for as early game as this is, but on the other hand, okay, so if we go back here, what else could we be picking? Allied Spellcaster, if we have somebody else to grab that with, but they never do teamwork feats in the auto build, so we can't really expect that. We could do a meta magic. We could get reach, selective. I mean, I guess we could do selective burning hands. What other +1s are there? Heighten. Could heighten burning hand. I don't know, thinking about this. Bolster. Bolster's probably the best one here. I might pick Bolster here instead of this. It would boost up the damage of Magic Missile by a fair bit at this point, right? Spell penetration at this point. Where are you at? You're in Canabras at level 5. There's a couple of demons with spell resistance at that point, but I don't think it's that important. Not yet. I think you kind of wanted to... I think you want spell pen before you go into Dresden. So, like, I would like to see it at level 7. I would like to see spell pen at level 7. Spell specialization is still just a really clean option. More damage, more targets for Burning Arc if we choose Burning Arc for spell specialization. But again, I don't think that they're going to go spell specialization on any of the auto builds. I think it's a bit too much. Kind of the same way that I know for a fact that they're going to go all in on UMD and they're going to go all in on charisma on the boosts every 4 levels. I just know that they're not going to go spell specialization in these auto builds. That's just what they do. Yeah, Fireball. Level 5, the first level 3 spell we get, or I guess level 6. First level 3 spell we get is Fireball. Yeah, sure. I agree with this choice. If you're gonna go a Blaster Caster, if you're not gonna go, so this class, this build has basically gone almost entirely offense. There's been very little defense or support spells taken. Like, you could say that Mage Armor and Shield vanish, but there's not really any other level 1 offensive spells that you want to grab here, except for maybe Snowball for just getting around spell resistance. But, like, you could say that these are primarily, I mean, these two are both personal, so they can't be used on other players or other party members. This one is within touch, so you could use this to buff other people. But then you have like Mage Armor here. Resist Energy we get for free, so I'm not even counting that. So if you were going for a more support-based character, obviously there's Haste here, there's Heroism here, Greater Magic Weapon, Displacement. All 4 of those are really good choices. But since we are focusing almost entirely on offense, I would say Fireball is probably the best answer. And considering the fact that we already have Elemental Focus Fire, and we are a Red Dragon blooded Sorcerer, Fireball is definitely the best way to go here. So basically every level except for level 1. Every single level I agree with except for level 1. That's the only one that I don't like. Greater Elemental Focus. So I did mention that I would like to see Spell Pen by this point. Unfortunately, we don't get that just yet. And I also see a feat that I really don't like down here on the Bloodline feat, but we'll get to that in a moment. Greater Elemental Focus. I mean, if you're going to have the other 3 at this point, you might as well finish it up, right? Bloodline feat. I would have preferred Improved Initiative out of all of these. But honestly, how many of these do we get? 4. Improved Initiative, Great Fortitude, Toughness, and Quicken, I guess. I guess those 4 would be the best ones because we don't have Knowledge, Arcana, or Mobility as class or as skills, so there's no point in taking those. Oh, actually, we only get 3 of those because, yeah. So I would say Toughness, Improved Initiative, and Great Fortitude are the most likely 3 that they choose. I don't think they're going to pick Quicken. And I'm also just not a huge fan of Quicken Spell for real time. For turn-based, Quicken Spell is incredible. But for real time, I'm just not a huge fan of it. Enlarge Person. So this is our first, like, support spell. Because this is the first spell that we've picked that does not benefit us at all. In fact, it is a detriment to us. Lowers our dex, raises our strength, which we don't care about. Lowers our AC and our attack. This is the first like support spell that I would consider us having. Again, as I mentioned just a moment ago, I would prefer Snowball here, based on the build that we're already going for. But Enlarged Person is fine. Diverse choice builds in general are quite bad in real time. Yeah, you want to try to minimize how much micromanagement you need to do in real time combat. Scorching Ray, yes. Yes, it's my favorite level 2 offensive spell. The only downside is we still don't have point blank and precise shot, so we are going to be taking a -4. So it's not that great because we're already not that good at hitting things. But I'm assuming that they get it eventually. I'm hoping. Now that they have a Ray spell, I'm really, really hoping that they get point blank and precise shot. And then Haste. Haste is fine. Haste is really good. Like, don't let me downplay that. Haste is really fucking good. For this build, is there anything else that I would like to see before haste? Not really. Yeah, the thing where you could auto. Yes, I do. Bubble buffs. Yeah, I got that. Well, hello, Shelby. You gonna come up and say hi to everybody? Come on. Here we go. What's up, baby girl? Yes, that is a mod. So, the way that you would do that is you would need to go to Nexus Mods, is the website, and then you would find Wrath of the Righteous, and then you'd be a lot of them have pretty detailed instructions on how to download and install and all that stuff. I've basically already got it all set up, so I can't really remember how I got it all set up. So I'm not the best person to ask on how to actually do all of it, but yeah. I would recommend going to Nexus Mods, and you should be able to find everything you need there. Overall, I'm not a huge fan of toughness, but I've never been a huge fan of toughness. Everything else, I shall. Hi, leave my beard alone. Everything else about this level, I'm okay with. Still boosting up charisma, yeah. Getting greater fireball, controlled fireball. Easily the best level 4 offensive spell here, I think. Yeah. Yeah. It's just fireball, but it doesn't kill your own party members. So, yes. Very good. I appreciate that level. Okay, yeah. So there's point blank shot. False life is fine. Hi. Could have gone Sense Vitals. I don't think that false life is that important. Hi. I don't think the false life is that important for a spellcaster. It's personal, so we can't cast it on another character. There's not really much that we could do with it, honestly. Ow! Would you stop that? Slow. I'm not a huge fan of slow. Apparently, Shelby's just decided that she's gonna play with my beard. I would kind of rather see greater magic weapon or heroism here. Slow. It's a fort save, right? No, it's a will save. Sorry. Will save is a little bit better than fort. Love you. Will save's a little bit better than fort saves in this game, but I think I would prefer displacement, greater magic weapon, or heroism still. Especially since we don't have any save DC boosting feats for slow, so there's not really anything that's I'm not a huge fan of that. These two spells, I mean, they're not terrible spells to get, but I feel like there are better options. Stone Skin. We could get Dragon's Breath. Greater invisibility. I mean, Stone Skin is fine, don't get me wrong. Animate Dead. Dimension Door. Any of these spells I think would probably be better than Stone Skin on this character. Or maybe not better, but they are other options. Phantasmal Killer, Overwhelming Grief. These probably not the best because we don't have any boosts to Illusion or Enchantment. You don't really want to grab too many offensive spells outside of the spell school that you are boosting, unless you get the was it school mastery? No. The mythic ability or mythic feat that lets you apply all of your feats to another school. I can't remember what it's called. Um yeah, all three of these spells, they're not terrible, but I think that there are other options that they could have gone for. But yeah, overall, so far, I think the worst level was level 1. Everything past level 1, I've been pretty okay with. It was just level 1 that I was like, I don't know about all this. I'm still mad about this. This is still dumb. 1 skill rank per level is real bad. Level 5, Fire Snake. Is there a better spell for level 5? We could have Ascendant Element. Okay, so here's something. Here's something to take into consideration. We don't actually need to focus on spells that are naturally fire-based. Because as a red dragon-blooded sorcerer, we have the capacity. Now we come back here. Where's it at? I think it might just not show up on here, but you do have the ability to change any spell that you cast into a fire spell. So we could grab Cone of Cold here and change that cold damage into fire damage. Say for Lightning Bolt in level 3. Which I did forget to take into consideration when I was considering level 3 spells. I would probably have taken Lightning Bolt over Stone Skin for this character. I'm fairly certain that Dragon also has it. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it does. Because I used to use that in the speed run. Minimize that. 1 second. Red Dragon Bloodline Pathfinder. Maybe I am getting them conflated. Why was I thinking that? I could just be wrong. Okay, whenever we finish this leveling up, I will just check the abilities. Because if it's there, then it's there. Okay, so level 11, we finally got Precise Shot, so we can finally use Ray spells without penalty. Great. We get Glitter Dust. Glitter Dust is fine. We do get Glitter Dust once per day for free from our heritage. As whatever ASMR, I can't remember what it's called. It's Muse Touched. So we get Glitter Dust 1 day for free, but Glitter Dust is a really good spell. So I'm not upset that we picked this as a level 2. I still would like to see Sense Vitals, especially now that we have a Ray spell to take advantage of it. But Glitter Dust is fine. Heroism, I've been saying, is one of the spells that I would like to see on this build. That being heroism, greater magic weapon, and displacement. So the fact that we are seeing that is good. I'm happy to see this here. Although we are getting almost to level 6 where we could pick up greater heroism, although I don't think that we're going to get that. I think we're going to get Hellfire Ray first for level 6. So it's still going to be at least a couple levels before we get that particular choice. Protection from Energy Communal is always a good spell. Always a good spell. And then Cone of Cold, especially if I am remembering correctly. If not, I think there's other ways to deal with this. If you can't turn everything into fire damage, that makes this far less useful. The spell DC is down by 2 because of elemental focus. We're not going to be getting past spell resistance. Or not, that's another thing. We don't have any spell pen yet. Hopefully we start getting that soon. As I mentioned, I would have liked to have seen spell pen starting at level 7. So that we have it for all the demons that are in Dresden. But whatever. If we can't turn this into fire, what would I have liked to see otherwise? Icy Prison is just a hilarious spell, and I love it. We do have Stone Skin on this character already, so Stone Skin Communal might be a thing. But there's not really a whole lot of level 5 spells that I'm super, thrilled about for this particular build. Angelic Aspect doesn't really do anything in this game. That you can't get from other places. The DR5 is /evil, so basically everybody in this game is going to get over it. +2 deflection to AC and +2 resistance bonus on saves. You're going to have a better ring and a better cloak at this point anyway. And you're not going to be attacking with natural weapons or melee weapons. So this last bit is also not great. And gain resistance to acid and cold 10. We just got protection from energy. And you probably also have protection from energy communal from another source at this point as well in your party, so not useful. Yep, there it is. Hellfire Ray, called it. First level 6 spell. Possibly my favorite level 6 spell outside of Chain Lightning. Transformation is also really fun if you're building specifically for it, but this build obviously is not. Level 13. We get our first meta magic at level 13. So we still don't have spell penetration. And Empower spell doesn't really do shit if you don't have spell penetration. And we double down and we get Quicken as well. So we have 2 meta magics on this level. And still no spell penetration. So I'm going to start judging this a bit more harshly the longer we go without getting spell penetration. Because at this point in the game, we are in Illusionira or potentially the mines after Illusionira at this point. We are running into a lot of demons, and a lot of those demons have spell resistance. So not getting spell penetration at this point in the game is really not great. I am not a fan of it. We definitely should have gotten it at this point. At the very least, spell pen, if not both spell penetration and greater spell penetration. Yeah, not a fan. Quicken spell, I've already talked about that a bit. I do not like Quicken in real-time combat. Quicken is very, very powerful in turn-based. So depending on which style of gameplay you're going for, this could be very, very good or kind of a waste. Dragon's Breath is fine if you're looking for another source of damage for level 4 spells, but I think the Controlled Fireball is just going to be better in basically every scenario. So I don't think that there's any real reason for us to ever use Dragon's Breath. Whereas you could get something like Animate Dead to get some extra bodies on the battlefield, Dimension Door to help with your placement, Greater Invisibility to help, you know, to give you that defensive boost, or along with, you know, being invisible. Greater Invisibility comboed with Hellfire Ray and Sense Vitals is a recipe for a absolute fuck ton of damage. But we also don't have Sense Vitals, so we can't really pull that off. But regardless, Greater Invisibility is another choice here that I think is much, much better than Dragon's Breath. Trying to unlock everything for the DLCs is such pain. Good luck. Have fun. Acidic Spray. Honestly, we have a lot of AoE at this point in the game. Got Cone of Cold, we got Fire Snake. Acidic Spray basically just does what Fire Snake does, but worse for us right now. I would like to see Icy Prison, honestly. Because even if they save against it, they're still staggered. Is it staggered? It's entangled. So even if they save against it, it is entangled, which makes it flat-footed, allows sneak attacks. Icy Prison is a really good spell. Every enemy is just focusing your main character. What is your main character? Is he a frontliner, or is he like a sorcerer, or like what are you playing? Cold Ice Strike, kind of the same. I mean, it's literally the exact same as Acidic Spray and Fire Snake, except it's a shorter line. It's 30 foot instead of 50. It's 1d6 per level, and these are 1d6 per 2. No, this one's per level. So why take this? Why take this over Chain Lightning? I don't like this choice. It is a swift action, which I actually did not know. I did not realize that this spell was a swift action spell. Mad Dog Barbarian. That is strange. So depending on how you have your party set up, because barbarians do run faster than a lot of other characters, she might be getting to the enemies before your actual front line is, and the enemies do tend to focus whoever they target first. So you might want to pull her back just a little bit more so that you can ensure that your front line is actually getting to the enemies first. That's the only thing that I could think of off the top of my head that might help. But back to the build. Yeah, I would definitely prefer Chain Lightning. The mass spells are less important at this point, I think, because a lot of people that would benefit greatly from these spells are already going to have belts that boost those stats anyway. So these, I think, are less important than the level 2 versions of them. There's also Heroism Greater, but I think the best one here is going to be either Chain Lightning or Heroism Greater, depending on whether or not we need to have Elemental Bloodline to get everything to fire. Level 18. Why did I say 18? That is just a flat out lie. Level 14. Firebrand. Firebrand, eh, I don't like it. I do not like it. Most of our spells that we're going to be casting at this point do not do damage to our allies. So the immunity to our fire spells does not matter here. 1d6 extra fire damage if the person does not have... Okay, so actually, I don't know how this works. I don't know how this works with Ascendant Element. If we have Ascendant Element Fire, do their plus 1d6 points of fire damage go through resistance? So that's an interesting question. Does Ascendant Element consider this damage to be coming from this character or the person that we cast this spell on? Because if it's considered coming from this character, then that's just an extra +3 or plus 1d6 damage. Because you're gonna have Ascendant Element at this point in the game. If it's not, then that plus 1d6 points of fire damage is completely wasted because they are not gonna get through the spell, the energy resistance that almost all demons have. And then you can just say, blah, here's a 66 laser. I'm not a huge fan of Firebrand. I would much rather get Legendary Proportions to buff our melee characters. Because, like, basically, these are both melee character buff spells, right? Firebrand and Legendary Proportions both buff up your melee characters. Legendary Proportions does way fucking more for them, right? +6 size bonus to Strength, +4 size bonus to Con. That +6 to Strength is already a +3 to damage, which is roughly equivalent to the average that you're going to get from this 1d6 points of fire damage. Plus it boosts their chance to their attack bonus, gets them extra health. That's not even considering the boosted damage from the enlarged weaponry that they're going to be using. +6 to its natural armor. Like, Legendary Proportions is just so much better than Firebrand when it comes to a buff. It's so much better. Like, there's absolutely no comparison. This is the second, both sorcerers that we've looked at, Aengi last week, or Aengi, I don't know how you actually pronounce her name, the pre-generated sorcerer character, and this one, both get Firebrand as their first level 7 spell. I don't like it. Get Legendary Proportions. It's a better spell. Is there literally anything else that even comes close? No. Legendary Proportions, best level 7 spell. Fight me. Yeah. Yep. We get yet another meta magic while we still don't have spell penetration. We have now grabbed 3 meta magic feats without any spell penetration. We have combat casting, but no spell penetration. Get out of here. This is bad. At this point, this is legitimately upsetting me. I hate this. Maximize is really strong. Don't get me wrong. Maximize is really fucking powerful. However, it doesn't mean a damn thing if you can't get past their spell resistance. Spell pen. We're level 15 and we don't have any spell penetration for a blaster caster. This is inexcusable. Right here. It's right here. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. But looking through here, we now have Stone Skin Communal. As I've said, I would like to see Icy Prison, but I guess we're just not going to get that. Stone Skin Communal is not bad. But yeah, I would like to see Icy Prison instead. We do finally get Chain Lightning, which I'm perfectly fine with. I approve of this. And we do get Legendary Proportions. So this goes in the exact same way that the Pregenerated Sorcerer did. They got Firebrand first, and then they immediately got Legendary Proportions afterwards. I approve. I approve of this spell being in your spellbook. It should be in every Sorcerer spellbook. It is my favorite level 7 spell. I may be slightly biased, but I think for good reason. Level 16, so we're still boosting up our charisma. This, if you're trying to play this correctly, should be the final point that you put into charisma, but I know that it's not going to be. I know they're going to boost charisma up to 25 at level 20, and I hate it. I hate that I know that. Horrid Wilting as your first level 8 spell, I hate it. Frightful Aspect is right there. Greater Shout, Sunburst, or Storm Bolts if we could transfer this into fire damage somehow. Sea Mantle is really fucking good for a defensive spell. Horrid Wilting, we don't have anything to boost our Necromancy. We have nothing boosting our Necromancy. All of our fire spells have a +4. A +4 to the save DC. Horrid Wilting has a +0. So I hate this spell. I do not think that we should... Well, I don't hate the spell. I hate the spell in this build. Frightful Aspect or Sunburst, I think, are the two best. Unless Storm Bolts can be transferred to fire damage, which we will find out relatively soon. We also get Wings. Point blank shot, apparently. Again, we get point blank shot again. Hey, look at that! Level 17. We finally get spell penetration at level 17. What are you heading into is at this point? I think. Like, putting this into perspective, I think we're heading into is when we finally get spell penetration. Like, just keep that in mind. That is a thing. And I get Finger of Death. Why? Why are we getting Necromancy spells all of a sudden? We got Horde Wilting. We're getting Finger of Death. What the fuck? Why are we getting this kind of stuff? Honestly, I would pick True Sync Communal over that. Or Caustic Eruption. I don't know. I don't appreciate it. We do get Storm Bolts, which... I feel like restarting the entire DLC run to make a character who's just permanent invis. What DLC are you playing? Which one? Storm Bolts. Oh yeah. So yeah, as I said, if we could get this to be fire damage, this is really good. If not, not so much. Wait, what? Urine is... That's the main game, isn't it? Well, I know that you go to Is in the main game. I don't know if you go to Is in any of the DLCs. I guess you get Dragonkind 3 for free here, which is whatever. Level 9. Our first level 9 spell is Fiery Body. Oh, wait, you're playing Inevitable Excess? And are you sure it's Is or not, and not Threshold? Oh, wait, no, you do go to Is in Inevitable Excess, don't you? Do you? I can't remember. It's been a long time since I played that. It's been a long time since I played the Inevitable Excess DLC. If you made a level 20 character, then you're in the Inevitable Excess DLC. Yep. That's the one. That's the one that you're doing. Alright. Fiery Body. Nope. What does this actually do? You heal from fire damage. Immune to blindness, crits, ability score, damage, deletes, electricity, poison, and stunning. Acid resistance 30, 150%. Yeah. +6 enhancement, bonus to dex. Does not stack with belts, so if you have a dex belt on, this is useless. Or diminished. Unarmed attacks deal, whatever, doesn't matter. Fire spells you cast have their save DCs increased by +1. So our fire spells are now at a +5. Whenever we... I actually did not know this. I did not know that Fiery Body has this benefit. That's actually really, really nice. Okay, my immediate reaction was, gross, get Heroic Invocation. But, or Mind Blank Communal or Icy Prison Mass. But the boost to save DCs is actually really nice. I like that. The 150% cold damage is a bit dangerous because there are a fair number. Like, I know that there's at least one major enemy in Threshold that casts Cone of Cold on a consistent basis. So that's really dangerous. But there are ways to mitigate that. You can get, you know, protection from energy, energy resistance, get all that stuff up. But it is a little bit dangerous, but getting your spell DCs up to a +5 is actually really nice. Level 18. What do we get here? Greater Spell Pen. All right. I'm sorry, level 19. Level 19. We finally get full spell penetration. Yay, we did it. Jesus Christ. You do get improved initiative. So they skip Great Fortitude, huh? With their love for getting the save boosting feats in these games, I'm really surprised that you don't get Great Fortitude instead of Quicken Meta Magic here. But all right, I'll take it. I like me improved initiative. I like getting more initiatives. Polar Ray, Sea Mantle is really good. Would that spell be worth making her spells last 24 hours? I don't know. I don't think so. Not this one in particular, because this one's going to be 19 minutes per cast. Right? If we look at this, we get Overwhelming Presence for free. So it starts off at 18 minutes. And spellcasters require a lot of... I guess we don't really need... That would be a mythic ability. And spellcasters don't really need that many mythic feats. So an argument could be made that you could, because she does have a couple of other buff spells that would benefit from it, like Shield, Mage Armor. I wouldn't really consider False Life. Heroism, Protection from Energy, Stone Skin. Although Stone Skin does have a limited duration regardless of its actual duration, depending on how much damage you take in. Spell Resistance, which... Oh, we got that one for free. That was a Dragon Blood thing. Legendary. Yeah, I guess there is a fair number of buff spells that would benefit from that. And then yeah, for a level 9 spell this time around, we do get Heroic Invocation, which I do like a lot. Icy Prison Mass is another thing I've mentioned, which I would really, really like. Mind Blank Communal is also really fucking good. Both of these two spells are really, really good. And I would appreciate seeing them in this in this particular build, obviously, we only have one level to go, so we can't get them both. Heroic Invocation, I'm less of a fan of now than I used to be, because I kind of forgot that Greater Heroism just kind of does part of this anyway. So it's less useful there. But A, it's an AoE spell, so it's one spell versus like 18. 6. But I don't think Greater Heroism boosts your damage. I think it's just attack rolls. So there is still a bonus. There is still benefit to using this regardless. Alright, what do we get at level 20? Yep. I fucking called it. I fucking called it. Owlcat, you don't have to put all your stats in the same spot. You don't have to do that. Get intelligence up. Get us an extra 10 ranks that we can put in literally anything but just UMD. Get us, get us a bit of more wisdom save. I don't know. Like, there's 3 odd numbered stats here that you could boost. Unfortunate. And they go for Tsunami. Tsunami is... I don't like this. I don't like it. It's a conjuration spell. It's a conjuration spell. We have gotten so much focus into our evocation spells, and yet they don't take the one level 9 evoke... Oh, I guess there's 2. The best level 9 evocation spell, Icy Prison Mass. Come on, guys. A, it's a fort save for partial damage and partial effect. Meaning most demons are gonna have no problem saving against this, because most demons have a very good fort save. Whereas Icy Prison Mass, regardless of whether it saves, they're entangled and they're taking constant damage. Like, this is 20 points of damage per person hit per round. That's a lot of damage if you have like 5 people. That's an extra 100 damage per round that you're doing. That's huge. While also entangling them or paralyzing them if they fail their reflex save. Icy Prison Mass is really fucking good, and the fact that they didn't take it upsets me. But that is that. All right, we're going to take random mythic stuff. Oh, here, let's actually, okay, so we're gonna take Ascendant Element Fire. We're gonna actually like try to build this in a way that makes some kind of sense. Spell Focus Mythic. You know what? Let's not go Lich. Let's not go something that's like completely broken. Like if you really want to... Wait. Does Lich... Lich is spelled books. Does Lich combine with Sorcerer? I can't remember. Does Lich combine with Sorcerer? Yes. It does. You know what? Alright, Ascendant Element. Oh, we already did that. Abundant Casting. Yeah, okay. Marksman. Withering Life. Level 1 spell, reduce person. Grease, fuck it. Level 2. Sense Vitals. Level 3. Placement. Level 4, Greater Invis. Level 5, Icy Prison. Oh, we get 2 level 5s? And Shadow Shield, fuck it. Oh, actually, no. Yeah. Level 6. Greater Heroism. Dispel Magic Greater. Alright. Mythic Feat. Spell Pen Mythic. Was improved. God damn, that's a lot. Hard. Snowball. I too. Whatever, Hurricane Bow. I'm like trying to build this in a way that would make sense to me. Molten Orb. Actually, probably Invisibility. Greater Magic Weapon, probably. Dimension Door. I like Dimension Door. It's a good spell. Waves of Fatigue is like just a really fun spell because it's just like, yeah, get fucked. There's no save. There's no way to resist it. It's just, you're fatigued now. Bye. Have fun with that. Sirocco. The rank 4, Morlich. Alright. So if we take a look at this now. We have Enduring Spells, Improved Abundant Casting. So we're going to be taking improved all of the Abundant Castings, obviously. Fuck it. Oh, we'll get to. Create Pit for the memes. Banishment is really good. It's those waves of exhaustion, though. Alright. Oh my god, we're only rank 5. Do we care about any of these? Could potentially do that. Or, okay, so let's actually play this out. So we got Greater Abundant Casting, something here. Enduring Spells, something here. We want Improved Initiative Mythic for sure. Oh, Expanded Arsenal. That's the one. Expanded Arsenal transfers all of the things that you got from one school to another. So if we're going Lich, you would want Expanded Arsenal to go into Necromancy. So we're actually going to grab that. I don't know. This one. Animate Dead. If you're a Lich and you don't have Animate Dead, what are you even doing? Alright. Now... Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? There you are. It gives you spell resistance. That should not give you immunity to your own buffs. What that should do is that should give you... because the way that spell resistance usually works is you could just choose to... Oh yeah, magic nullification gets rid of your buffs. Yes. But yeah, the way that spell resistance usually works is you you do a thing. And I forgot what I was saying. God damn, why can't I think? It allows you to... Fucking Christ. My brain refuses to work. Spell resistance allows you to to not like just turn it off at will, basically. So like if you're getting buffed, you should be able to just buff your party members without having to deal with rolls. So just as like this doesn't suck kind of thing, they allow you to take advantage of your buffs without having to deal with it too much. Oh, cleric. Yeah. Yeah, it does. So Gold Dragon is a little bit interesting because, you know, there's the whole I am super evil undead Lichman. Never mind, I am super good Gold Dragonman. But like, you know, going from Lich to Swarm, I could see that being a thing. Like that honestly would be kind of thematically relevant. I don't know why I'm choosing this like I'm actually going to be using this build. I should be just trying to burn through all this stuff to get to the end as quickly as possible. Alright, so at this point, we kind of need to pick up Enduring Spells. Is there anything else that I would like to have at this point? Second Bloodline is pretty good. So hey, if you want to do some really dumb shit, you can second Bloodline Copper. Or no, I'm sorry. Which one is it? Is it Brass? Is Brass Fire? Yeah. So basically, if you choose another one, Brass or Gold, you get another +1 to all of your fire spells. Per dice rolled, obviously. But yeah, these little boosts right here, they stack with one another. So if you want to go a really fucking stupid build, you can go the double Bloodline Sorcerer, go 2 Draconic Bloodlines, both boosting fire spells, and then get second Bloodline because you could still pick it with that archetype. Get a third Bloodline, and suddenly all of your fire spells are doing +3 damage per dice rolled. It's real dumb. I kind of love the idea. Is it good? Probably not. But it's really funny. Okay. There we go. We got them. We got the 2 spells that I wanted to make sure that we got. And then level this one. Extra mythic ability. Greater enduring spells. So we can get it. I don't know. Mages. There we go. All right. Now, let's go into abilities. I like how this game forces us into this. We're level 20 now, but we still only have level 1 spells and shit. Because it doesn't consider us having rested yet. So if we go into abilities here, I'm just double checking what was discussed earlier. Do dragon-blooded sorcerers? Doesn't look like it, which is weird because I thought for sure they fucking did. Like, it definitely makes sense that they don't, but I thought for sure that you could transfer all damage into fire damage with the dragons. One, Lady of Death. Nope. Huh. Let's go. Oh wait, we gotta like run back out. Huh? Is there a spot where I can rest? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh Jesus! Suddenly all of the things. Touch. Rest here. Oh, I can. Oh Jesus! I gotta wait for him. All right, we are going to rest. It doesn't matter. Literally couldn't care less. Hmm. Oh wait, wrong person. Yeah, I guess not. I thought for sure that they could. Maybe they used to be able to, or they were able to in Kingmaker or something, and then they fixed it. All right, well, that's Sorcerer. We did it. Um, Summon the dragon. All right. There we go. We did it. We summoned the dragon. Um, I do like the sounds. All right. Well, let's head back to the main menu, and we will get started on the fighter. I thought it would be kind of fun to compare. Well, not compare, but to do fighter and sorcerer one right after the other because they're so very different. And I'm really curious how the fighter is going to deal with how many fucking feats they get. So we are going to start off with Yunelard, and then we will do the custom character fighter afterwards. So yeah, he's going to be going down the Aeon path. Also, we didn't do this with Taolynn, but I do want to go over the thing with the stuff. The mythic path auto builds for these guys as well, because they do have a mythic path. Human, Abadar, lawful good, stuff and things and stuff. All right, so let's take a look at what we got here. So we got guard. Okay, so first off, strength of 16, dex of 15, con of 16, intelligence of 13. Okay, so all of those make complete and total sense. Dex might be a little bit higher than what I expected. Especially for a tower shield specialist. Okay. Heavy mace weapon focus. Oh my god. All right, we're gonna talk about that. If we're not going a charisma build, there's absolutely no reason to have this. Literally, this should just be a 7 at the most. Unless you're going a charisma build. Let's see what we got ranks wise. So we got 1 rank in knowledge world, 1 in athletics, 1 in mobility, 1 in Lore Nature, it looks like. Yeah, I can, yeah. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4 ranks per level. Much better than the last one. Well, actually, it'll be 3.5 because we got a +1 on intelligence. Guard gives us perception, light armor, short swords, and light crossbows, which we will not be working with at all. And then it looks like we got weapon focus, heavy mace, and combat expertise, or weapon focus, heavy mace, and toughness. I'm not actually sure. We're gonna have to. Oh wait, yeah, no, because we get an extra feat because we're human, and we get an extra feat because we're a fighter. So we get 3 total feats at level 1, which is kind of insane. Unfortunately, they waste 2 of them. I mean, I guess combat expertise does give us. Oh wait, that's right. This is the. This is anti-power attack. Oh, I don't like this. I do not like this. I do not like how this build is starting out. So the problem that I have with this build so far is just having a wall that doesn't do anything is not useful in these games. You want your walls to also be able to do damage. You want them to have some spikes on there, right? If you have a character that's just standing there and is basically immune to most damage, what that means is that they're going to stand there while everybody else dies, and then eventually they also die because crits eventually wear you down, or they start taking spell damage or something. Focusing this hard on, like, you do have weapon focus, but it's heavy mace, which is not a good weapon class. I think heavy mace is like my least favorite. Like, the maces themselves are just like my least favorite weapons in the game. They're just so boring. I mean, granted, boring is subjective, but I don't find any benefit to doing heavy mace over like a rapier or a glaive, like something with reach or something with a higher crit range, or literally anything else but a heavy mace. Hell, give me an axe with a ×3 weapon, ×3 crit damage. Give me something. Yeah, shut up. All right, so let's. So we then get trip. Okay. By the way, mobility, we have a -1 with 2 points into it, so that's cool. Here, let's. Fighter proficiencies, Abadar, yeah. Background as a guard, weapon focus, yeah. Toughness, combat expertise, trip. First bear. Okay, so yeah, I'm actually not overly. I guess what's her face was a tower shield specialist. They brought tower shield specialist back. They have one in both games. I just realized. Because Valerie was a tower shield specialist in the first one, right? Second level tower shield specialist can use his shield to screen himself from burst spells and effects, gaining +1 bonus on reflex saves against them while employing a tower shield. Bonus increases by +1 for every 4 levels after second. Okay. That's actually not bad. It's an untyped bonus, so it stacks with everything else. Yo, Bovin, what's up? How are you doing, my dude? You're just in time for us to tear apart this build. We just got started with the fighter. Starting with trip. Like, does this expect you? I don't like this. if you have some kind of ability that allows you to trip while you do other things, that's one thing, right? Because like bowling infusion on a kineticist is incredibly powerful. However, having to use your entire turn to trip somebody, ugh, not great. Not great. So 3 of the first, actually no, literally every single one of these feats I would not take. I would replace every single feat, all 4 of them so far. So start. When literally every single feat, what do you mean I'm offline? Owlcat is trying to silence me. Owlcat's trying to silence me. They heard me talking shit about their builds. They tried to take the stream down, but I am too powerful. Yeah. When every single one of the first 4 feats of your build are really bad. Weapon focus, it's just the weapon that they chose. They should have chosen anything except for heavy maces, because heavy maces are trash. But toughness, combat expertise, and trip, like, you don't have anything to trigger trips. Combat expertise is just anti-power attack. Like, this is just not... Ugh. It's just... Ugh. It's just... Ugh. Yeah, we're just... We're just gonna be having, like, it's all defense. That's all we're getting is defense. Which... I have made my stance clear on full defensive builds. I don't like them. I feel like they're a waste of time. You should be going for something to do some damage. Or do something to allow other people to do damage. Like, if you're gonna be just a person who stands around and doesn't do anything, become an intimidator. At least then you're doing something. You're helping your other people hit. This guy just stands there and hopes that the enemies attack him. That's what this build does. This build literally just stands there and hopes that the enemies come to him instead of anywhere else. Alright. Still, again. Dex? Hold up. Why? Video game, why? I'm incredibly confused. You are a heavy mace wielding person with a shield. Why are you boosting your dex? Wait, please. And it's heavy armor focus. Heavy armor focus. Wait, what the fuck? Okay. Armor training increases the maximum dex bonus allowed by 1. So if we are wearing full plate, we have a max dex of 2. Max dex of 3 once we hit level 7. So you cannot take it full advantage of this dexterity bonus for your AC until level 7. Could also potentially be for 2-weapon fighting for the sword and board, right? So that you can get shield strikes in. But I feel like this build is weird, man. Like, I don't... Again, this guy is all about please hit me and not my friends. That's what this guy is. Okay, so we got Fury's Fall. So we are now adding our dex to our trip attacks. The problem is... So this guy literally just stands there and just does trips. He just trips people. That's all he does. He just sits there and he trips people. He's not actually trying to hurt people. He trips people and then he hopes that his allies can take advantage of the attacks of opportunity that provokes, I guess. This is it. Okay, so here's the thing. I am fairly comfortable with these games. I have quite a few hours playing these games. I understand them. I would say that I would consider myself, you know, maybe not like the top tier expert on these games, but I would say that I'm pretty competent at them. I understand them quite a bit better than a lot of people that play them. And this build is confusing me. Now, the thing about these builds is you have to consider who these builds are meant for. These especially the pre-generated characters, are built for people that are new to the game. These are designed for people that don't know this game very well. These are designed to help, you know, like slowly introduce the mechanics. He is basically an animal companion, yeah. He's a tankier animal companion. But like the fact that this build doesn't, like, I guess if you don't, the best thing, like if I'm gonna steel man this build, I could say that my predisposition and the way that I think about this game could be biasing me against this build more so than it should be. I really do not like this build. I think that this build is trash so far. But if you come into the game and you don't really know anything, as soon as you see Trip, you're probably going to start using Trip a lot, right? And especially once you see Fury's Fall, you're going to be tripping all the time as a new player. So this build, as long as the person who's using it is paying attention to what they are getting, I guess this build does make a fair bit of sense. But to me, knowing as much as I know about these games, I hate it because it's so hyper specific in what it does. And what it does is so not great compared to other things that it could be doing. That it blows me away. I wonder if this also applies to CMB. Like the -2 penalty, so he doesn't get the -2 penalty on attack rolls. Does that also include CMB? I'm curious. I actually don't know. All right. Okay. So we now have two separate combat maneuvers. We have two separate combat maneuvers. This means that these new players are going to have to choose between which ones they are using. So this means that these people, these players now have the choice between a full round attack, which gets them 2 attacks now because we are a full BAB class. 2 attacks with a full round attack, a trip which has 2 feats invested in it, or this new thing. We have this shiny new ability, disarming people. Ooh, disarming, that's pretty cool. That seems useful. This is just this, but not as good. Right? Like, tripping is just better than disarming? I really hate this build. Holy fuck. This build hurts me. Alright, what do we got here? Force reality. Okay. And last stand, of course it's fucking last stand. Why would you take anything except for defensive abilities? Why would you ever take any non-defensive ability on this character? Oh, we got weapon specialist. Oh, we have a +2 to damage. So now we have 2 feats boosting trip, 1 allowing it and 1 boosting it. We have 2 feats boosting our attack, weapon specialization heavy mace and weapon focus heavy mace. And we also have disarm. What are these new players going to be doing with these? I hate this. I hate this. It's all over the place. It is no longer a hyper specific, like I said 2 levels ago that this build was hyper specific, and what it was specific in is not good. Now it's just all over the place. Do you want to trip? Do you want to attack? Do you want to disarm? What do you want to do? Do you want to just stand there and take hits forever while you're doing the rest of it? I mean, I guess like standing there and taking hits forever can be done while you do these other things. But this is just, this build is all over the place. And I really don't like it. Now we have weapon focus mythic. Okay. We'd better get greater weapon focus, because otherwise weapon focus mythic is a waste of a... There it is, okay. Yeah, still boosting up dex. I can only assume that we're going to boost dex all the way up through to level 20. Greater weapon focus heavy mace. Alright. Yeah, there's greater shield focus, so we're going back to focusing entirely on defense. What does this do? Gains a shield bonus against touch attacks. Alright, so that's actually really nice. I will accept this. So we get Thundering Blows. Okay. That's fine, because we're not going to be hitting anybody with this build. We're not going to be hitting anybody with this build. So getting Thundering Blows is fine. Enforcing game damage. Oh my god, alright. So we currently get a +2 to damage, and enemies that fail their save get a -2 to damage. Oh, hiccups. Shield of Faith, True Strike, and Divine Favor. I mean, I guess True Strike is a good spell to have on this build, because it's the only way we're going to actually hit anybody. And then Divine Favor as well. Alright. I'm okay with those spells. I'm okay with those spells. I feel like those are probably the best ones to pick from that list. Okay. What the fuck? So we have critical focus before improved critical. We have critical focus on a nat 20 only critical hit weapon. What the fuck is this build? What is this build? What is this? This build doesn't make any sense. I'd take Hammer the Gap over half of these fucking feats. Jesus. Take Hammer the Gap over fucking Disarm any day of the week. At least Hammer the Gap has a chance of doing something. Yeah, look at all these. Improved critical, greater trip, greater disarm. Oh, like, greater, like, if whatever. All right, so we got critical focus. Hooray! We also get a +3 to reflex saves against spells. This also is a lie. I guess we're not actually wearing a shield. So, why am I upset about this one? Well, if you're taking shots to the face, you're going to be taking a hell of a lot more than once per round, especially at level 11. Meaning, we're taking an entire feat to remove one source of damage instead of increasing our own damage, instead of reducing chances to hit from all sources of damage, instead of getting greater trip or something along those lines. You already have 2 feats. You're already 2 feats deep into the trip line. I don't know why we don't have that. We could be going down the dazzling display line for intimidation, despite the fact that we don't have very high strength or charisma to use with. So probably not the best build, but it'd still be better than what we got here. Outflank, shield wall. We already got critical focus, so where's our sickening critical and all that shit? Fuck, Vital Strike. Give me Vital Strike over any of this shit. 2-weapon fighting. We still can't use our shield in combat as an offensive weapon. There's so many options to choose from this. So many different options to choose from this. Fuck, give me Fast Learner over this. I don't fucking care. I hate this feat. Missile Shield is... It's so bad. It's so bad. Ow. Wait, Tripping Strike is a thing? Why do we not have access to this? Only took about an hour. Jesus. Why is Disarming Strike available, but Tripping Strike is not? Am I just blind? What the hell? What do you fucking mean? Wait. No. There's a thing in here called Tripping Strike. Yet when I search for tripping, it doesn't show up. Is this not actually a thing in the game? Well, okay, so I searched strike first because I wanted to check all of these. I wanted to check all of them. So I didn't want to just check for Tripping Strike. That's why I chose strike first. And then I was like, all right, maybe I'm just not seeing it. There's actually no such thing as Tripping Strike. So if we go back to searching for strike, literally none of the other strikes that are shown in this feat description exist in this game. None of them do. Bull Rush Strike, Disarming Strike works. Repositioning Strike, not here. Sundering Strike, not here. Right? Repositioning Strike would be right here. Sundering Strike would be right here. None of these are a thing. Wow. Owlcat really needs to stop copy pasting descriptions of feats and spells from, like, guys, you gotta edit at least a little bit, man. You can't just copy paste the descriptions, because then it leads to confusion like that. Because, like, I got really excited. I was like, oh shit, is Tripping Strike actually a thing in this game? Could that actually make this fucking build work a bit better? No, it's not real. Not in this game. Not real in this game. But anyway, Missile Shield is trash, and so is this build. Alright, what do we get at level 3? God fucking damn it. Hey guys, we get an extra fucking like 8 health. Also, when we're dead, we gain DR10. Destructive Shockwave could be good, because we're not going to be hitting anything with this build. Shield Focus Mythic could be really good. I don't actually know. So we already get our shield bonus to touch. I know that. I'm not sure if this stacks. I'm really curious if this would stack. Weapon Specialization Mythic. Fuck it. There's definitely choices to be taking other than Toughness fucking Mythic. I hate this. I hate Toughness. I hate Toughness Mythic. I hate this build. This build sucks. So actually, the really good thing is, whatever the non-pregenerated fighter auto build is, which is such a weird sentence. It can't be worse than this one. It cannot be worse than this one. Remove sickness, sure, why not? Blessing Encouraging Life at delay poison. What is it even do? Minutes per level, +2 morale bonus on saving throws against fear and death. Alright. Not great, but whatever. There's not really a whole lot of... Okay, so we get greater weapon specialization. We get more dex, because fuck it, why not? So we now have a +4. I guess we do have enough of a head start on our armor training at this point that the +4 does make sense. We can actually take advantage of all of our decks for our AC. We are not limited on that. There's Greater Trip. All right, so we finally got that. 8 levels later. So we now have 3 feats focusing on Trip. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 feats focusing on the Heavy Mace. Because I'm counting, I'm sorry, 5. 5 feats focusing on that. Because I'm counting Critical Focus as a feat that focuses on actually attacking. So we have 5 feats that focus on attacking. We have 3 feats focusing on tripping, which does not allow us to attack that turn. And we have 1 feat that focuses on disarming, which does not allow us to do either of these other 2 things. There is so much anti-synergy in this build that it hurts me. I did not actually read what total cover does. What does this do? Tower Shield Specialist cannot be flanked. That's perfectly fine. Okay, we get Staggering Critical. Unfortunately, again, I don't know why they love Staggering Critical so fucking much. Don't take this feat. Do not take this feat if you go down the crit line, because it has a fort save to avoid the effect. The reason that's a bad thing is because I mentioned this back when we were doing the Sorcerer thing. Demons have really high fort saves. Almost all of them will have really high fort saves. There are exceptions, but the general rule. So the most common enemy that we're going to be fighting is very likely to never be affected by this. Get sickening critical. There's no save. Get tiring critical. There's no save. Also, tiring critical allows you to get exhausting critical, which is even better. Sickening critical doesn't allow you to get anything else, but it's still better than staggering. Staggering critical is bad. It's bad. It's not good. Yes, the fort save still gives you something. It gives you 1 round of it. However, I would rather them be sickened for a minute. Or tired. I'm sorry, just fatigued. Permanently. Exhausted. Permanently. I'll take these over staggered for a round any day. What the hell do we get now? Ever ready. Is this build really designed around only ever doing damage from attacks of opportunity? Is that what this is? You trip people, and then when they get up, you attack them, and that's the only way that this guy does damage? I mean, I guess that's an amount of synergy between the fucking 5 attack, now 6 attack feats and 4 trip feats. Or 3 trip feats or whatever the hell it is. Okay, I accept. Yeah, by the way, guys, just get yourself a wolf animal companion, and that's a much better build than this guy. Power of Law. Oh yeah, I read this. I read this when I was doing my Aeon playthrough over on Twitch. This is bad. This is bad, and I don't like it. Oh, so I guess I should go over it. The reason that this is bad. And like it's so confusingly worded. So it says if you get to a result lesser to or equal to or less than 1 plus half your mythic rank, this result instead becomes 2 plus half your mythic rank. Now, it does not specify whether that is before or after bonuses. I can only assume that it is before bonuses. Because if it's after bonuses, if you have full BAB, after level 12, this ability, or I'm sorry, after level 11, this is useless. And because if you're a full BAB class, I'm sorry, after level 6, this would be useless. Because it's half your mythic rank, not your full mythic rank. Because you're always going to roll higher than that if this counts bonuses. If it doesn't count bonuses, then basically all this does is if you roll a 1, this can get you when you're maxed out. And reminder, when you are maxed out on your mythic path, unless you're going into the Inevitable Excess DLC, you have like 3 fights left in the whole fucking game. So let's take this at max value. So if you roll a 1, it allows you to instead have rolled a 7. Which, you know, that is a +6 to your roll. But that I'm also not sure if it counts, if it negates nat ones. If it negates nat ones, then that actually makes this really good. But it doesn't specify. It does not specify that it negates nat ones. Now, here is where I think that this ability has to take into consideration bonuses. I mean, well, actually, maybe not, because a lot of enemies, especially in the later game, do have higher than they are higher than level 20, right? Some of them can be like level 30s and 40s and stuff. So I guess this is better for the offensive aspect than it is for the, like, I guess it's actually a defensive aspect. I guess this is better for this aspect then. The 21 minus half your mythic. Wait, what? It's a higher result than 21 minus half your mythic rank. That's a weird way to do that. Okay. I never noticed that it was a minus instead of a plus, because everything is always a plus in these descriptions. This result instead becomes 20 minus half. So basically, if it's a 16 or better, or I guess a 17 or better, because it's a result higher than, not equal to, and or higher than. If it's a 16 or better, or 17 or better, sorry, keep saying 16. The result instead becomes a 20. Or I'm sorry, a 15. Which is most likely going to be a hell of a lot stronger than I used to think it is. So this aspect up here is basically useless. This aspect down here, there are uses for. Especially once you get into the later game, I actually think that this could actually be fairly useful. Oh! But it has a lower saving throw than my other gazes. What is this gaze? What does this go off of? What is the what is the saving DC normally for these? Is it 20 plus your mythic rank? So let's take a look at this. So if it's a 15 plus your mythic rank, that is a max of 25. So again, if we're going off of max of 25, what saves are we going off of? Fort save, most enemies are going to have a plus 25 to their fort save far before you get to this point. If it's will or reflex, which I think it might be will. Oh, it's literally right here. Will save. Okay. So I know for a fact that Aurilu, not a solid auto build yet. Not today. Actually, the basic sorcerer one wasn't bad. The basic sorcerer auto build is a pretty serviceable blaster caster. Especially if you go Lich auto build, or not auto build Lich, but if you go Lich, to kind of subsidize that build. I mean, like, it took them to level 19 to finally get greater spell penetration, and they didn't get spell pen until level 17. So they waited way too goddamn long for those. But beyond that, I was pretty okay with the sorcerer build. This one, however, needs to go straight in the trash. So useless in Wrath? Depending on what level of difficulty you're playing on. I think on normal difficulty you would still be pretty okay. But yeah, if you're playing on anything higher than normal, then that gets really bad really quick. All right. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Here comes in the random other... Wait, do you not get... Oh, I guess you don't get bravery in this, huh? So you don't get the bonus to will saves. If you're gonna take a save feat, Iron Will is going to be the one that you take. But this guy, like, what's he gonna do if he gets confused? He's gonna attack your other party members and he's not gonna hit them. Or he's gonna hit him and do no damage. Like, this guy is so not a fucking threat that it doesn't even matter. Like, we're a fighter, we're level 15 and we don't have power attack. Like, this is a fucking problem. We don't have dodge. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, dodge, power attack, improved critical. We got critical focus and a critical feat. Staggering critical, but we don't have improved critical yet. Thankfully, they haven't chosen Die Hard yet. Although it wouldn't surprise me if they did on this build. Whatever. I'm not gonna... Yeah. Iron Will, like, weirdly enough, I'm more okay with this feat choice than I have been for, like, basically any of the others. Weirdly enough. Alright, what do we get now? Weapon specialization. Did we already do this? Or did we get weapon focus mythic? Is that what we got? Fucking toughness mythic. Get out of here with your bullshit. Yeah, so we got weapon specialization mythic. That's fine. Problem is we're never going to hit anything. Half your mythic rank on damage rolls. That's fine. Relativity of... What the fuck does that even mean? Oh, that's right. This is just displacement, but worse. Okay, so the problem with this... The problem with this one is... You have... At this point, we are what? Level 6? Yeah, level 6. So this gives us a 30% chance to be missed on any given attack. For one fight. Now, displacement is rounds per level, 50%. Hey, Shelby, you gonna come back up and say hi to everybody? No? You just wanted some head scritches? All right. So, displacement from level... You know, you could get it as early as level 5. Not mythic rank 5, but level 5. You can get displacement. And that does a better job than this. Until you get to level fucking 10. It does reduce your enemy's chance to be missed when they have displacement effects on them by 5% per mythic rank. However, you could also just have True Sight. You could also just have True Sight. So 2 spells give you the same thing as this mythic ability. I would not choose this one over any of the others. Cure Light Wounds is whatever. Castigate is whatever. Is there anything I mean, I guess you could take Cure Moderate. Protection from Alignment, Communal. Dispel Magic is fine. Could take Archon's Aura. Delay Poison Communal if we don't have that from somewhere else. Somehow. Death Ward is fine. Order's Wrath, I don't even know what this is. 1d8 points of damage for 2 caster levels to chaotic creatures. Or 1d6 per caster level to chaotic outsiders. Okay. Causes them to be dazed for 1 round. Successful will save reduces. Okay. I think I would prefer either Freedom of Movement, Restoration, or Dimension Door instead of Order's Wrath. But this guy has so many things, so many bad things that he can do on any given turn that it's kind of hilarious. All right. Oh, hey, look, we got the other critical effect that I would not recommend. So we're still boosting Dex, which makes sense. Blinding critical. Nice. Congrats, Zins. Yeah. So they're either permanently blinded or they are dazzled for 1d4 rounds. Now, let me make sure that I get this right. Dazzled Pathfinder. What exactly does this do? Dazzled. Unable to see well because of overstimulation of the eyes. A dazzled creature takes a -1 penalty on attack rolls and side-based perception checks. So, you either permanently blind them, or they take a -1 to their attack rolls for 1d4 rounds. You know what's better than that? Tiring critical. Where I believe tiring is... Let me just double check fatigued. Let me just double check so that I'm not... It takes a -2 to strength and dex. So, blinding critical is most likely going to reduce their attack by 1. Tiring critical is going to guaranteed reduce their attack by 1. Permanently, by the way, not 1d4 rounds, but permanently. And is also either going to reduce... is also going to reduce their damage by 1. And is going to reduce their AC by 1. Because it reduces strength and dex by 2. I wonder which of these is better. Granted, you could blind them, but it is a fort save. And we've already talked about that quite a bit. Also, sickening critical. Just to reiterate what Sicken does. Sickened is a -2 on all attack rolls, damage rolls, saving throws, skill checks, and ability checks. So seems even better. And that's for a full minute. Why would you take blinding critical over either of these two? The answer is because these two are too good. I hate it. It makes me mad, man. Like, I understand that they're trying to make these builds suboptimal so that you have some reason to, so there's some reason to explore the builds and try to, you know, build them yourself instead of just relying on the auto builds. But holy fuck, man. This build is bad. As long as you make at least 1 melee attack, you get a stack of +2 bonus damage rolls with melee. Oh my god. This is like the only character that I would be like, yeah, I could see this being fine. Because this is the only character that's going to do so little to the enemies that they might actually get all the way up to +10. Save DC. I think this is probably one of the best ones that you could pick. It is only +1 per 3 mythic ranks, but that is a +2 to your save DCs for this character. And it'll be a +3 and 2 more mythic ranks. Like, that's pretty good. That's pretty good to be able to add that onto you. I'm perfectly fine with that. Resist energy is fine. Hold person, I would never use it. But maybe this guy will because he's got nothing else to do. Freedom of movement is fine. Thought, sense, and break enchantment. Alright, let's take a look at what else we got here. We got cleanse, cure light wounds mass, pillar of life. Spell resistance could be useful. Spell resistance could be useful. Alright. Level 17. We double down on the Iron Will feats. Alright. You got a +4 for it now. Which, if we look at this, even with both of those boosts, it still only barely beats, or only barely gets us to our reflex save. And that's without a shield boosting this reflex save, by the way. Because Tower Shield Specialists do get... where's it at? Where is it at? Ah, it's this. Yeah, so we have a +4 while we wear a Tower Shield. So our reflex save is actually a 13 right now. It's actually equal to our fort save, which is kind of hilarious. Alright, what do we get here? What is this? Shield Focus Mythic. So I guess they do stack. I would fucking hope that they stack, because otherwise Owlcat chose a completely useless mythic feat. So what I'm talking about is Tower Shield Specialists also have an ability that adds their Tower Shield's AC bonus to their touch AC. So if this does not stack with that, this is completely useless. But because they chose this, I can only assume that it does stack, which is actually pretty fucking strong. So this... You grant your allies who can make more than one attack of opportunity per round, one additional attack of opportunity per round. Okay. Gain a bonus to attack and damage is equal to 1 per mythic rank. That's actually really good. Because we're at a +8 right now. So if you combo this with Ever Ready, that's a +16 to attacks of opportunity. Attack and damage. That's actually pretty impressive. That's actually a pretty good combo. Especially if we're tripping people consistently. I'm actually okay with that. I'm actually okay with that. Shield Focus Mythic and Enforcing Gaze. If we're going to be going for this hyper defensive build, Shield Focus Mythic is the way to go. This build is basically useless except for Stone to Flesh. That's a useless fucking feat. How? Okay. Hands up if you've ever been petrified in this video game. Hands up in the class if you've ever been petrified in this game. Because I'm fairly certain that I never have. I don't even know of any enemies that can. You think? I have no idea. I don't even know how many... To Google. What are petrifying enemies? Retriever spiders. Okay. Oh, apparently the carnivorous crystals can also do that. Okay. So I guess there are a couple of sources, but they're very... Like, the fact that I wasn't even sure if they existed, I think goes to show just how unlikely they are to ever actually land. Maybe they're more dangerous in higher difficulties, I don't know. But for this build right here, I don't think that Stone to Flesh is necessary. You could grab Heal, which basically does the same thing, I think. No, actually, it doesn't remove Petrified. Oh, yeah, that's one of her abilities. She teleported... So when Aru, like, dies, she will teleport back to her, back to your main camp. So you could just go and grab her from there. Yeah, I would still take Heal over Stone to Flesh. Dictum. Still a funny word. Yeah. Not the worst mythic mythic level that we've taken. Mythic Charge? You're never gonna hit with Charge. It's a protection that Desna gave her. So that's what's going on there. They re-roll it and keep the better result once per round after an enemy has failed the saving throw, makes an attack and hits. Re-roll this attack, keep the worst result. Okay. So this basically gives you advantage and your enemies disadvantage on their rolls. On attack rolls specifically. I guess that's fine. Dimension Door, Breath of Life is fine, Dictum is funny, Banishment is fine, Greater Restoration is fine. I think those are probably the best two spells that you have in that list. Yeah, okay, so at least you get Critical Mastery, so you're going to be dealing with both of them. But I would like to remind everybody, we have 4 critical feats right now. Critical Focus, Staggering Critical, Blinding Critical, and now Critical Mastery. We have 4 critical feats. On a nat 20 only crit weapon. And we don't have improved critical. So we can't even boost that to 19 to 20. Not yet. This is the build that they have chosen. They have chosen to focus on combat maneuvers that require standard actions, which negates our ability to attack on that round. They have focused on criticals, on the worst possible weapon to focus on criticals, which is the heavy mace. Maybe there's... Okay, let me just double check. Heavy mace loader. Alright, let's see if there's any heavy maces that have an extended crit range. Nope, not a single one. Alright. So there's no, like, special, unique heavy mace that has, like, a 19 to 20 or an 18 to 20 crit range. They're all nat 20s. They all only do ×2 damage. Gross. Gross. Yeah. This build focuses on such weird shit. I don't understand it. If we don't... Why? 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 This is now the 5th Critical feat. Hi, Matt. I'm having some problems. This build is causing existential crises with me because it's so terrible. So, we have Disarm and Disarming Strike. I'm actually okay with Disarming Strike if you have Disarm. Unfortunately, it's whenever you score a critical hit with a melee attack. Critical hit only. With a nat 20 only crit weapon. And no improved critical. Oh, we do have critical focus, staggering critical, blinding critical, and critical mastery. And disarming strike, which might as well be disarming critical. But no improved critical. Do we get it at level 20? Is our capstone as a fighter actually going to be improved critical? Is that what it is? I know shortly. We did finally get Destructive Shockwave. Okay, I am actually perfectly fine with this. Devs wanted you to go Trickster with this tank build. I think they just wanted you to realize that this is bad and just re-roll a different character. I'm pretty sure that's what the intended use for this build is oh god. Oh god, please. Just stop it. Fuck you. I don't even care. Force Repentance is fine. Hold Monster is fine. Overwhelming Presence is... okay. I just can't even be asked to care anymore about the mythic stuff. Like, all those spells don't matter. Greater Disarm. We never got a mythic Disarm or a mythic Trip. So, okay. Let's look over this build so far. So we start off weapon focus, heavy mace. This build specializes in heavy mace, toughness, and combat expertise. Okay. We're going for some combat maneuvers, so combat expertise is a prereq. That's fine. That's fine. We can deal with that. We can deal with that. Go trip at level 2. Might be a little early. Might be a little early. We might want to boost up some of our other things. Shield focus. Oh, okay. If we're going to be a tanky boy, you know, shield focus isn't bad. Shield focus isn't bad. Heavy armor focus. Okay. Oh, by the way, we were boosting our dex from 15 to 20. That is what we got as our stat boost at 4, 8, 12, 16, and 20 was dex on a heavy armor wearing fighter. Granted, we are actually able to use our full dex as long as we don't boost it with any fucking belts. As long as we never boost our dex with belts or anything else, we can use our full dex as AC. Anyway, we get Fury's Fall. All right, we already have Trip. If you're going to have Trip, having Fury's Fall, especially if you're going to be focusing on dex for whatever reason, it's not a bad idea to pick this. Okay, cool. I'm down. Then we get Disarm. All right, we're diluting our potential. You could also say we're diversifying, but we're kind of diluting what we do here a bit. You know, we got Trip. We're kind, you know, we have a feat that increases our attack, and now we also have Disarm. Okay. Weapon specialization, heavy mace. All right, we're going back to actually attacking. We're not focusing on tripping. Nope, it did not. No, it did not. So we got weapon specialization here. Okay, greater weapon focus, heavy mace. All right, if you're a fighter and you have weapon focus, you probably should get greater weapon focus. That's fine. Greater shield focus. All right, that's okay. Sure, why not? We're going for a tanky defensive build. That's fine. I can handle greater shield focus. Critical focus. Critical focus without a single improved critical to be seen. There is not a single improved critical BDC in any of this. Missile shield. I wonder what feat we could replace with improved. I don't know. Maybe, just maybe we could put improved critical here instead of this garbage fucking dumpster fire of a feat. Maybe we could not have this trash and we could have improved critical. Just maybe. Also, maybe we could replace heavy mace with literally any other weapon in the video game. I don't know, a rapier, a scimitar, fucking, I don't know, a great axe. If you're gonna have a nat 20 only crit range, at least get a ×3. I'm not upset about this build, by the way. I'm not. I didn't get, no. I don't know. By the way, we get greater trip then. Oh, I'm sorry. We get greater weapon specialization and then greater trip. Which, it's fine. If you're going to be tripping people and you don't have some other way to trigger it, greater trip is good because it allows you to not get beat the fuck up every time you try to use it. And then we focus on Iron Will. By the way, we could also replace either of these two with improved critical, but it's fine. And then we get the 2 worst critical feats. Even take a dagger over mace. Yeah, daggers are fine. Fuck, give me a kukri. Kukris are dope. Love kukris. We get the 2 worst critical feats. We get staggering and blinding instead of sickening and tiring, or tiring and exhausting, or exhausting and tiring and sickening. I wonder what other feat we could have replaced to get tiring, exhausting, and sickening. It's fine. It's fine. And then we get improved Iron Will to just double down on this mistake. And then we get critical mastery to double down and triple down and quadruple down on this mistake. And then we get disarming strike, which just quintuples down on the critical shit, because disarming strike is still only critical only. So we have a nat 20 only crit weapon with 5 feats dedicated to critical hits. Seven if you count disarm and greater disarm. If you count disarm and greater disarm as critical feats, because it's kind of how it's like okay, so the way that this build reads to me, is you are only ever supposed to be using trip. You are only ever supposed to be using trip as your actions. Your standard action is always trip. Then once they get up, then you make use of all of your actual attack boosts. And if you just happen to crit, if you happen to roll that 5% chance to crit, then you get to take advantage of these 7 feats that require a crit to be useful. Also, you're just supposed to stand there and take damage outside of all of that. Or stand there and take hits. Yes! That's what yes. This is literally a worse wolf. Get yourself a wolf animal companion with Darren, and you have a better... They're better than this. They're better than this. This is trash. This is... So I was pretty upset about the Cavalier auto build last week. I am so much more angry about this build. This build is dog shit. Probably the worst one. I'm hoping that this is the worst one we will ever see. I think this is... I'm hoping this is the worst one we will ever see. Now, the good news is, we get to go and we get to try and bust our ass through the next fighter in a half an hour. So we're going to be going speed round through this next fighter. Character import, create new character. All right. Class. Fighter. Recommended build. All right, what do we got here? So ASMR, that's fine, you know. Angel-blooded, strength and charisma. Don't underestimate the devs. Look. We got my favorite here already. 2-weapon fighting, interesting. Warrior adds perception, also becomes proficient with light armor, short swords, and light crossbows. Yeah. Okay, so the +2 is because of Angel Kid. This build is looking awfully similar to the last one. Strength is higher. We got 2 more strength than we did last time. The dex is 15. We're going 2-weapon fighting. So I'm curious if we boost our dex and we leave our strength here at 18. Wait. So why guard? Is this again? So one thing that I've noticed is that a lot of these backgrounds don't actually benefit the class or the build specifically at all. So like we have warrior, we have a guard, gives us perception to class skills, also becomes proficient with light armor, short swords, and light crossbows. We're a fighter. We already have all these weapon and armor proficiencies. So the only thing is perception, which I'm pretty sure fighter also just has, right? No, you do not. Okay, so you do get perception as a class skill because of this, but we also just don't get perception. Which is a choice. That's a choice. That's a choice to take a background that does literally nothing for the build. You know, you could have gone pickpocket. You could have gone pickpocket and gotten the extra initiative. At least that's always useful. But otherwise, persuasion. So, are we going to go Intimidator? Are we going Intimidator build? If yes, I approve of this. If no, fuck off. Perception instead. Lore nature is okay. Athletics, I think, you know, if you're a fighter and you have a decent strength, if you're going strength fighter, you should boost athletics. Toughness, I hate this feat in every build. It's just never worth it. Get an extra 3 health. Okay. Or you could give me weapon focus, you could get me power attack, you know, if we're going dex, you could get me piranha strike. Armor focus. Hell, double slice. If we're gonna be 2-weapon fighting from the get-go, get me double slice as well. Like there's so many things. Yeah, sure, you do Aristal. You are also named one because reasons. Alright, let's see what we got. One good thing is we're not going to be doing a mythic build for this. It's just going to be the class itself, because there is no mythic auto build for these characters. Alright, fight. Number 2. Dodge. Okay. Now, I don't hate dodge as a feat. In fact, dodge is one of my favorite defensive feats to get. However, you know, it's right above that double slice right there. I think they probably should have taken that double slice right there. So we're just going to move on. Like, obviously, we don't have access to the crane style feats because we're not a monk. All right, what do we get? Shield bash. Okay. Okay, so you're a sword and board character on here. By the way, we never got shield bash on the other character either. So we were just holding the shield and hoping that we didn't. Whatever. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So if you are a sword and board character, shield bash is the way to go. IMHO. Might as well turn it into a weapon. Kind of a waste if you don't. And honestly, I would say that probably light shields are best for this type of build. Yes, the heavy shields do a little bit extra damage. But the fact that it's considered a one-handed weapon and not a light weapon makes wielding them very, very penalizing to your attack rolls. So I think keeping a light shield, taking a slight hit on damage to boost your attack by quite a bit is better. Yeah, so I was right. We are going to be boosting up our dex. It's fine, I guess. Combat expertise. So we got that again. Are we going to be going... Please tell me we're not. Please tell me we're not doing these again. We got the anti-power attack. Okay, so there's the double slice. No. No, don't do it. No, don't do this. All right. Just don't focus on crits. Just don't do it. Just don't focus on crits and we're all good. Focus on, you know, just beating people down. Focus on basic damage. Don't get any crit feats. Fucking get crit feats again. They're gonna. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I guess so. Up there's the... Okay. All right. Right away, we're starting with the trips. Of all of the... Okay. Of all of the combat maneuvers, I think trip is the best one to use. So I'm okay with that. Shield focus, that's fine. This is looking real similar to the other one. Not as bad. Not as bad. I want to make this clear. It's not as bad as the other one. But it's looking pretty fucking similar to it. All right, so we got improved two-weapon fighting. Why? Attacks of opportunity only attack with your main hand. You don't get attacks with both weapons. So, if you have trip, why are we focusing on more attacks with our offhand? If we're not focusing on trip, why do we have it? Okay. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I'm okay with this. If we're gonna be sword and boarding, yes, you should get the thing that boosts up your shield stuff. Still don't like this, but we're already locked in, so fuck it, I guess. Oh, also Fury's Fall. Like, again, why are we focusing on two separate things that conflict with one another? We got improved two-weapon fighting, we got double slice, we got two-weapon fighting, we got trip, combat expertise, and Fury's Fall. Like, why do we have 3 feats each that conflict with one another? I mean, mason boarding? Look, sword and board sounds better. Look, listen. I refuse to call it okay. Armor focus I'm fine with. I'm fine with this. I'm fine with armor focus. It's fine. Just boosting up your AC, just making you a better tanky boy. I am okay with this. Why? Okay, so are we supposed to... What the... okay, hold the... What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What is this build? Okay, so the last build I was... Alright, you know what? Here's what we're gonna do. I'm not gonna go through it, we're just gonna... Alright. Oh, fuck. I went one too many. I went one too many. Alright, we're gonna have to just go through, pick random things real quick. You know what? You're Nazada because I like Ivu. I went one too many. So we're just gonna look at the entire build as it is. A, because we are starting to run a little bit out of time, and B, because like I wasn't able to see what the intended function of the other build was until after until we got the entire thing, right? Once I was able to get the entire thing, I was able to understand what they were trying to go for. So I'm hoping that the same thing happens here. Because, holy fuck. This build makes no sense as it stands. Alright, please just let me go through. We got two more. Dos más. Cleaving shot. I want to, like, submit this to, like, a build discussion forum. Just this random-ass mythic path. Like, what do y'all think of it? I actually have no idea what I've chosen. I want to look at it once we get done. All right. Hey, Ivu. All right, class. All right, let's take a look at what we got here. All right, so we had gotten up to Greater Trip. It's about as good as the depths look. Oh, yeah, we had gotten to Hammer the Gap. Okay, so we have... All right, what else do we got? We got combat reflexes. Okay, so we got multiple attacks of opportunity per round now, which... Okay. Why? Why do we have multiple attacks of opportunity? When we don't have multiple trigger... Missile... Greater 2 weapon fighting. Why? Iron Will, stagger... Fucking staggering critical again! Wait. Wait! Wait! What the fuck? Not even a weapon focus, no improved critical, no nothing. So I guess that is a little bit better than the last one. I don't know. Because we have weapon training, crossbows, but what the fuck? I guess we do have a 20 dex. What does this do again? Okay. So here's a okay, so let's take a look at this kind of thing. All right, so do I actually have a shield on? I do. I have a heavy shield. All right. So actually, let's take a look at our inventory. What do we have? Oh, we have literally nothing. Okay, gotcha. All right. So let's take a look at what the fuck is this build? What is this even? Okay. Iron Will, Lightning Reflexes. Lightning Reflexes, I think, is unnecessary. Our reflexes are still pretty... Why do we have Heroism? Oh, because Heroism aura from Ivu. That's fine. We got Mythic Resolve. That's funny. Okay, so let's what the fuck is this build? All right, what are we trying to do here? So we have fully, like, we fully invested in the dual wielding build. So we got 2-weapon fighting, we got shield bash, double slice, improved 2-weapon fighting, greater 2-weapon fighting, and I will even consider hammer the gap. That is 6 feats, 6 feats, 6 feats dedicated to doing damage with our 2 weapons. Now, we have combat expertise, trip, Fury's Fall, greater trip, agile maneuvers. That is 5 feats, one of which doesn't make any sense, because this, I'm fairly certain, overrides this. So we already had Fury's Fall. You can use strength and agility. So we add our dex bonus to CMB whenever we're tripping. So instead of just a +4, we now have a +5. However, this, you add your dex bonus to your base attack bonus and size bonus when determining your combat maneuver bonus instead of your strength bonus. So do these stack? Does this basically just give us a +1 to our trip at level 20? Which is obviously the best fucking use of a level 20 feat, is to get a +1 to our trip bonus. Also, I'm turning my fan on. It's getting a little too warm in here. Maybe I'm just getting a little too heated. I don't know. Why is my fan not on? Give me 1 second. I found out why it wasn't on, because the plug had come undone. Anyway. Check the Marshal tab. That is... Well, the problem is that... Jesus Christ. Oh, I guess... Yeah, it doesn't actually tell us what the numbers are. So where does this 35 come from? Combat, or BAB is 20. Our dex is 5, so that's 25. Where's the extra 10 coming from? Because this actually shouldn't... This should actually change the CMB on the sheet. This should not actually mess with that because it's specifically trip. It's not CMB in general, right? Neither should trip and greater trip and all that stuff. None of that stuff should actually change this number. Hmm. Oh, and then we have combat reflexes to boost our attacks of opportunity randomly. What is Incredible Might? That is a mythic ability. That you get from, yeah, that's this. So you get a bonus equal to your mythic rank on attack and damage rolls. It's pretty fucking good if you're a melee character, Azada. Okay, so let's actually just look at this for a minute. So defensively, we have toughness, we have dodge, we have shield focus, we actually have combat expertise, which is a defensive feat. Missile, shield, iron will, lightning reflexes, heavy armor. We never get greater shield focus, which is kind of weird. We never like double down on this. Instead, again, we get fucking critical focus and the worst critical focus add-on in the game. Yeah, how long until I can get to combat? All right, we just got a whole lot of shit. Oh, I guess our companions have a whole lot of shit. I'm gonna see if I can't get to combat. We're gonna rest. I don't actually think that that's gonna help us particularly. Because we are a fighter. I don't really care about the spells that we get as an Azada. Is this not where we're supposed to go? It's not. It's been a long ass time since I played the Inevitable Access DLC. I do not remember what we're supposed to do here. Well, actually, I do. Actually. That's right. You can just open the map and then just tell your people to just go here. That's fine. I don't actually care about bringing in the rest of the party or any of that stuff. We're just going to try to get into a fight. We're going to try to trip somebody, and we're going to see what the numbers look like after we trip them. That's what we're doing here. What do you want? Okay. Is there a fight up here? All right. Where's Trip? Why am I... Okay. Wait, what? Okay. Let's take a look at this. So we got Fury's Fall. So we do still have the +6. Greater trip, haste, weapon training close. Incredible Might. Strength, BAB 20. Wait. But our strength isn't a 6. Our dex is. Okay. Yeah, incredible. Oh, it just wasn't showing that. Okay, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, so it does double up the dex bonus. Okay, so this actually does make a good chunk of sense because, I mean, it is still only a +1 over the strength, so it's not the best use of that, but it is actually doing something, at least. I definitely would have taken most other things, but At least it does something. This build is still really confusing to me because I'm not sure exactly what it expects from you. There's a lot of tripping in this build. Like, the thing is, like, okay, so combat reflexes here. Combat reflexes doesn't actually do anything for you. Because you only get, like, basically you have to trigger the attack of opportunity, right? You have to trigger the attack of opportunity somehow. Either by having the person run away from you, having them cast a spell or try to shoot a bow or a crossbow while you're in range of them, or or trip them and have them get back up, right? Now, if you trip one person per round, which we don't have a way to trip multiple people per round with just this build, that's only one attack of opportunity. It's not bad for a non-shifter player. Yeah, like we accidentally added an extra 10 when we were just randomly picking abilities for our Azada mythics. But like, why is Hammer the Gap here? Hammer the Gap does nothing to this build. Replace this with improved critical, and at least then you're, you know, increasing your chances of hitting by a little bit. As was mentioned in chat, we don't have a single weapon focus feat. Like, yeah, Matt, you said that, like, fighter classes just have too many feats for the devs. But, like, the problem is that they don't make use of those feats. Like, there's still a lot missing from this build. They have 21 feats to work with, and we're still missing many. To make this build actually, like, viable, really. They focus on way too many things. They don't double down, like, they don't focus on anything. Like, these builds lack focus. Both of these fighter builds lack focus. Honestly, after going through and looking at the one, it's still trash. Like, the what's his name? The Tower Shield Specialist. It's still terrible, but the only reason that class is really, really bad is because he has the wrong weapon. They focus on heavy maces instead of something that has a higher crit range. If they just replaced the heavy mace with a scimitar and gave that build improved critical, I would actually be pretty down with that build. That build could actually be pretty good. It's very specific in what it does, but what it does isn't terrible if you replace the weapon. Because if you yeah, like, because the whole point of that build is you trip somebody. After you trip them, they get back up, provoking an attack of opportunity from you. And then you crit them, and then all of your crit stuff goes up. Also, I would replace the crit feats that they chose with staggering and sickening. Or, I'm sorry, not staggering, but sickening and tiring critical instead of staggering and blinding. Just so that we get rid of the save chance. I just don't want to deal with that. But this build here doesn't have any coherency or consistency. It's very anti-synergy with itself. There's no triggers for any of the things. Like, it goes all the way through with the two-weapon fighting. Two-weapon fighting doesn't gel well with attacks of opportunity builds, because you don't get an attack with both of your weapons whenever you provoke an attack of opportunity. You just don't. So there's no point in the attacks of opportunity portion of this build with the way that it is. It's anti-synergetic with yeah. I actually like the other one better, except for the weapon. Except for the weapon and the choice of critical feats. And the lack of improved critical, obviously, as well. But other than that, that other build was actually not terrible. The more I think about it, the more I like it, honestly. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the okay, so recap of the builds tonight. Sorcerer, pretty basic blaster caster, but it's gonna do the job that it intends to do. Tower shield specialist, Yunelard, pre-gen character. Bad, but only because of the weapon that was chosen. And a couple of feats I would have swapped out for other related feats. This guy right here, absolute mess. Absolute mess. I think, honestly, this is the worst of the three. The more that I think about this, I think this is the worst of the three. It just doesn't do enough to justify what it has. And what it has just kind of fights against itself. Like I can't really, like, this doesn't make enough sense for me to argue against it. Like, that's the point that we're at. Like, I'm so confounded by this build that I don't even really know how to argue against it, because it just doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. It's like one of those things. Oh, that's right, I forgot about the bows and crossbows. You don't want to get weapon training fucking anything else but ranged weapons? Why? Why must you do this to me, video game? Why? Give me weapon focus and greater weapon focus, literally anything but bows and crossbows on my fucking fighter. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Ugh. But anyway, plans for the rest of the week. Tomorrow we are going to be continuing through God of War 2018. I am going to be dropping the difficulty down to normal. I was playing it on the second hardest difficulty. We're going to be dropping it down one tier, down to normal, because I'm just not good at that game, and I would like to be able to make some progress. Because I got stuck on like one fight for like an hour last night, and it's just not the kind of streams that I want. So we're going to drop that down to normal so that I can continue onwards with that game. Thursday I will be off as normal. Friday and Saturday we'll be doing some Pokemon solo runs. Friday we'll be finishing up Zapdos, because I kind of fell asleep on stream on Saturday last week. And then we'll be going into Articuno after that. And then after that we will roll a new Pokemon. In other news, I have an upload schedule. The Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now. It's 9 o'clock. In other news, by the way, for those of you who are not aware, I have a second channel on the YouTubes here. Let me actually pull up I will actually post a link to it in the chat. It is where I will be uploading all of the VODs for these streams, and I'm going to have a consistent upload schedule of Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. Or I'm sorry, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. If you would like to go and check that out, I have a fair number of videos up already. The most recent one being the Nidoking solo run that I uploaded yesterday. I believe we have our first auto build video. Should be up tomorrow. And then, yeah. It'll be about a week behind of the actual live streams that we're having on this channel, but all of the VODs will be uploaded on that channel as we go forward. if you want to go and catch up on some of the things that have been missed. Link doesn't appear for you? You don't have it. What about now? I just pinned it into the chat. Okay, there we go. Cool. I might actually start doing that consistently so that it's just there for people that want to check it out. But yeah, so that's kind of the plans going forward. I will have a hopefully consistent upload schedule of, like I said, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. And yeah. Before I continue to repeat myself over and over again, I'm gonna go because I gotta get ready for work. Thank you everybody for hanging out and watching. This was a lot of fun. I hate these builds, but it's fun talking about them. But yeah, thank you everybody for hanging out. Appreciate y'all as always. And as always, I hope you all enjoyed the stream. Hope you all have a good evening, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.